How's it going, everyone? Welcome to yet another Coinsider live stream. I'm Kevin, of course, and we're also here with Josh, one of our new teammates, one of our new hosts. You may have seen him on a short lately post on our channel yesterday about wallet security, but you'll see him a lot more on live streams and shorts in the coming weeks. So be sure to say hi to Josh. And really excited about this live stream today because we have some big bullish catalyst news that's related to the ETH ETF that none of us thought were going to happen. In fact, we were making a video on why, like a bearish on ETH video, one of the biggest reasons was that this ETF wasn't going to get passed, and then all of a sudden a 180 surprised everyone, even like the ETF gurus from Bloomberg surprised everyone, came out of nowhere, and I said that the bull market is back because of this. Josh, what are your initial thoughts about just everything going on in the past couple of days?
Yeah, I think this is a really good dynamic, me and you, because I was actually on the opposite end of the spectrum. While everyone was saying, oh, ETH is dead, this ETF is not going to go down. This is kind of something I've been rubbing my hands and waiting for it to happen. So now that it's happening, it's kind of nice to watch it play out. I think this ETF narrative as a whole is huge for ETH, because when you're talking ETH, this is a lot different than the dynamics of the Bitcoin ETF, because of course ETH is the godfather of altcoins and crypto. So to me, this opens the floodgates for the rest of the altcoin market as a whole to get some more attention, exposure, and I think the fun is just barely getting started. So once we do get that ETF, I'm excited to see what plays out. Future ETFs, perhaps, or just what it could possibly mean for the altcoin market.
Awesome. And they said that my mic was a little bit loud. I just turned it down a little bit. Let me know in the comments if it's better, please, and I'll adjust it as such.
Is mine sounding okay? Let's check in with the crowd.
They say yours is a lot softer and mine is loud. I just turned mine down. Hopefully it's better.
I hope mine's not too soft.
Still loud. Let me adjust mine down. Okay, I turned mine down quite a bit. Hopefully, they said yours is good, so I turned mine down. Hopefully this is better. But yeah, this ETF news was honestly crazy. And now people are saying that this is the biggest regulatory week in crypto's history. Like, not only the ETF, but also the bipartisan vote for that bipartisan vote. Let me just turn my thing down some more. Okay, I turned mine down some more. The bipartisan vote against the SEC's like SAB 121. I hope I'm not butchering that. And then now there's another vote, the FIT 21 bill, that supposedly has bipartisan support too. So everything's changing, everything is fluid, and it looks like we may be back in the bull market earlier than I expected because of this news-driven event.
Yeah, definitely some very strong catalysts there. And with everything that's going down amidst all of this, I'm not sure if you've been paying attention to the deadlines. Actually, we can be seeing this ETF come any day now. And once that goes down, as you saw, so far since the Bitcoin ETF has come out, we've had roughly around $15 billion in inflows through these ETFs and through these financial institutions. They're estimating, can't remember which exact fund, I don't want to mention it to be wrong, but an estimated 14 to 45, I know that's a big sort of range of $1 billion in inflows for the ETH ETF through all these different, financial institutions, and speculation around just that asset as a whole and what ETH really is, right, and what it means to the entire cryptocurrency industry. So looking forward to that.
Yep. One sec. Let me change something on my mic. Okay, one sec. I think. Sorry, guys, for the technical difficulties. How do I sound now?
Sound good to me, but I'm not sure for everyone. A lot quieter.
Me?
Yeah.
Perfect. They said perfect for me. Okay,
Great.
okay. Yeah, I changed a big setting. And for you, they say it's a little soft, so hopefully you can,
I can turn it up a little bit.
yeah, if you can turn it up a little bit,
Let me
just a
just
little
hop.
bit, like 10% or 15%.
All right.
Now I have clear sound. I know what the problem was. On my mic, I had a plus 20 dB setting auto turned on, and that's what was making it super loud.
All right. I've ticked off automatically adjust volume, and I've turned it up a bit. How does
Yeah,
this sound?
I think it sounds good to me. It sounds
Sound
louder.
good?
Okay. Okie dokie. So let us just dive right into it. Sorry for the delay. We have some very interesting stuff we want to talk about today. Share screen, tab. Okay. They say we are much better now. Okay. So here are the
Perfect.
markets. We're around 70K. ETH was at 3,800. ETH did a massive candle if you look at this. Like a massive. They said ETH added the entire market cap of Solana in a single day. That's crazy.
That's wild.
And
I love
yeah,
that.
I mean, and I think we still are putting out that video on bearish on ETH, just because we've done a lot of work on it already. But I'm gonna have to spin that a bit. I'm gonna have to be like, this was before the ETF completely shocked us all, and because think about it, like maybe you were contrarian and you were bullish on ETH, or maybe just less bearish than everyone else.
Right.
But if you looked at it, ETH BTC ratio was at like new lows. It was like dying, that ratio. And then Solana was like dominating various things over ETH. And people
Yeah.
were like, why even buy ETH? Just buy Bitcoin and Sol plus meme coins, like better barbell allocations there. And ETH is no longer deflationary currently, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look at that actually. ETH deflationary burn stats. What is that? ETH ultrasound money. Okay, right here. Yeah, see, ETH is currently inflationary in a 7-day time period and a 30-day time period. Since merge, it's deflationary, but 1 hour, 1 day, 7 days. Yeah, it's slightly inflationary. So we can't even go by the narrative of ultrasound money currently. And if the ETFs weren't going to be passed, that there's one less thing going for it. And yeah, just like Solana has the meme coin casino, there's just a lot of fundamental reasons why it didn't make sense to hold ETH per se. But now everything changes. If this ETF happens and the flows come in, everyone's looking for ETH and ETH beta rather than like Sol or other stuff.
Yeah, I love Sol. I've always loved Sol, but I love ETH, and I've never went away from ETH. The liquidity's there, the security's there. It doesn't break down like Solana does. I do still like Solana, don't get me wrong. However, I've always been bullish on ETH, still very bullish on ETH. And I knew this ETF would eventually play out. I didn't think it would be actually happening this soon, which I'm excited that it is. However, this opens the floodgates, even for Solana. Maybe one day we'll get a Solana ETF. Imagine that, right? And all these different things. Just the whole altcoin narrative as a whole, it starts with Ethereum. You have to always remember it.
Yeah,
Always
I
with Ethereum.
I
And
think
that's the
that's right.
right.
I,
And
I,
so that's my sentiment towards it there. And I think the inflows of even a lot of these, TradFi boomers who are now starting to dip their toes into crypto now that it's on Wall Street and so on and so forth, they'll see ETH as where to start, right? In that ultimate beta play to Bitcoin. People don't feel so early to Bitcoin anymore, right? Now that like in today versus a few cycles ago, and so they're looking to Ethereum next and the plays underneath there, but it starts with Ethereum. So I think it's going to surprise a lot of people. Like you said, it's surprising you now that with just how much inflows we're about to see coming into Ethereum. And just that you mentioned that huge candle that we got just over the span of a day, that makes me even more bullish just on the industry as a whole. It shows you how much capital is still sidelined and ready to jump in, right? It shows you how much capital is waiting to be deployed. And so I'm very bullish on that. And there's still a lot more firepower for the next, whenever the bull run continues on. So I'm bullish on that.
They said that an ETH ETF can truly kick off alt season, which hasn't really happened if you think about it. Like, sure, it happened with meme coins, but it wasn't a broad-based alt season where like everything went up. Like last cycle, 2021 and 2017, literally everything went up. This like 2024, it was quite selective if you think about it. Like memes, yes. AI coins, yes. But a lot of other stuff didn't go up. And they're still struggling.
Still struggling, especially, you know, I'm big on the Cosmos ecosystem. They've been truly lagging behind and underperforming. You know,
what do you think about this? I posted this on my I posted it on Twitter, but I can't access it right here. I said that BTC is near all-time highs, but a lot of other hot alts are still like 50% down from their recent highs.
Exactly.
That is quite the phenomenon that people should think about and contemplate.
Yes. And you know what, I agree. And I say it is and it isn't. As we know, it starts with Bitcoin, right? And then usually, you know, a short period after that, we see the rotation come into altcoins. I feel like, as you said, for how much Bitcoin has pumped, it has been a lag of sorts in comparison to previous cycles of altcoins really starting their run. As you said, it's been very selective with just like memes and AI. We still haven't seen ZK have its season, Deepin have its true season, GameFi, one that everyone has, you know, been praising for so long, still really hasn't had its true season yet. And it's been very selective. But I think the best is still yet to come for the altcoins and for this whole altcoin wave. And this ETH ETF could very well be the catalyst that sparks a true altcoin season for this cycle.
Yep, I'm trying to find, there was that thing. Someone posted a chart that showed the different sectors and which ones actually have been performing lately. And I can't find it. It's on Twitter. If someone knows what I'm talking about, please drop the link and I'll show it on screen. But
yeah, it's got to be memes first.
Yeah, it's memes. Memes are the highest, AI coins. But the interesting thing is that most of the sectors are still in a bear market.
Mm-hmm.
Like OG DeFi and what are some other sectors that weren't as hot? I think SocialFi was hot, but a lot of the other ones are not hot, and they're still technically in a bear market, which is why,
Gamify.
Yeah, gaming's still down, I think. So here's the thing. Alex Sanchez says this opens the door for Sol.Link ETFs. I think so, yes, but my personal prediction is that those won't come for at least like 2 years. I don't think that we're going to get a Sol. Or Link ETF approved within the next year or year and a half. What is your prediction?
To see it this cycle would be insane. That would be
it's too fast. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
I think we'll go into like Gigabull if that happens. If there's a Sol ETF, it's like, okay, like crypto is really becoming truly established in the US, but beyond just these, you know, giant Bitcoin and ETH ETFs. I wouldn't predict, and just off the top of my head, I wouldn't think we see that this cycle. I think maybe next cycle or maybe next bear market, we can see it, like you said, the next maybe 3-4 years, I would think. But then again, I didn't think we'd see the ETH ETF so quickly after the Bitcoin ETF. So, you know, nothing
would surprise,
Nothing would surprise me. It's crypto, right? Things happen at the drop of a hat. Overnight, there could be something revolutionary that takes place. So, you know, never say never, but I wouldn't think it would happen this year. I'm with you.
Okay. Just real quick, a couple other quick topics before we dive into our fun predictions that we need everyone in the audience's help on. We have some prediction segment coming up, but can you see this, by the way?
Yep.
So this is the cheapest ever fully diluted value in market cap at time of like near launch per se. So ETH, people were able. Okay, it was back in 2015, so most of us weren't able to get in back then, obviously. But the point is, it started out small, and so did Sol, arguably, with 4 million market cap, cheapest ever fully diluted, 240. But these new ones, like Stark Net, for example, and a bunch of other layer ones. I think this is like too common these days. This is what Kobe wrote about. There's
Right.
no opportunity for people. They launched so high.
Yeah.
Like think about it, 11 billion fully diluted. It's not going to go to 110 billion. There's just no way unless some crazy stuff happens.
I
And
agree with
market cap at 800 million, 8 billion, okay, fine, but wait, that would make that 110 billion. Yeah, they're playing games. And the point is, there's no meat on the bone left for retail in many of these VC mega coins,
I was
mega
just
layer
about to
one, layer twos.
I was just about to mention VCs, and I hate to see sort of how these VCs are playing the game in this current market with some of these coins. Sadly, on my favorite Cosmos ecosystem, a lot of these VC tokens are pretty much predatory, right? They'll launch at these insane valuations, and those opportunities that you're talking about, being able to get in from early, like you saw with ETH and Sol, which are two of the biggest.
Yeah, Soul, you could get in
You can get in
100x opportunity.
yeah, and for one of the most established and best, networks in all of crypto, whereas you have these more less proven networks coming out launching at crazy valuations, those opportunities were reserved for the VCs, and that was part of how they were able to raise so much money. They
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
enticing with offering them these low market caps, getting in all this liquidity, and then launching at a high market cap. And then sadly, retail a lot of the times is, I don't want to say the sucker, but you can be buying the top, even though you're getting in early, quote unquote, you can still be buying the top
yeah,
compared to
exactly,
the market caps that the
exactly.
VCs got into, right? So where's the upside there? If you're someone who is a seasoned trader like yourself, you know how to look at these things, and the opportunity to the risk to reward ratio actually isn't there like it used to be in crypto when you had things like Sol and ETH at their genesis. So it's tough to it's getting harder and harder to find early projects
Yeah.
with a fair market cap to be able to get into. Like what was
See,
it? Wormhole dropped that two. I think it was what was it?
yeah,
2.
Wormhole got destroyed because
Yeah,
of their one sec. Okay.
and they launched at these high market caps, and it really had reminded me to not marry your bags. I got the Wormhole airdrop, and
Look,
so exciting.
down only.
Yeah, it's been down only. Thankfully, actually sold off most of my airdrop on the third day. Still took a little bit of a haircut, but reminder not to marry your bags or marry your airdrops because of because these VCs really have the upper hand on you. So
Yeah. And I think that's what these projects don't get. Like I think they have to do this because of the VC rounds they raised, like you said. But what they don't get is that if they could launch at a small valuation and have organic price discovery and grow together with a community like Soul, for example, or whatever, then they'll have an army of believers that
that's
ride or die with them. And that's so important. Like for the coins I got in early and I'm like 10x, 20x, I'm like hodl, I believe in it. They don't even need to like pay me anything. I just love it because it's something that I got in on early and grew with them over time. And it's not only me, it's an army of retail, right? If you got in early and they slowly grow with them over time, 10x, 20x, 30x, you're a true believer and you have an army of followers that in a community that is way more loyal than like the Wormhole community
exactly.
and things like that. So
You nailed it on the head, Kevin. I say you nailed it on the head because what drives, if you like, we were just talking about meme coins, what drives a cryptocurrency a lot of the time would be the community, right? You have these people who are backing it, who are diehard fans and members of this community. It's like a family. Some tokens that I'm in, you go on their Discord, and it's literally like I don't want to say cult, but it's literally like a cult. It's a family. These people will ride or die for the coin, and that's what really pushes it for the long term. I'd say the community is everything. So when it's just VCs really who get to be on that ride, the token and the chart ends up looking like what we're looking at right now. So yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
And they get a lot of hate too.
That's why there's this interesting thesis where I forgot who wrote it, maybe Kobe or some other big crypto Twitter account. Their thesis is that the old coins, you know how, and this is going to come into our prediction segment, how we're all under the impression that newer coins are better than old coins because they're more fresh, they have more excitement and whatnot. However, there's this counterpoint that all these new coins have this like high float predatory tokenomics. And their thesis is that the old coins, which are mostly all circulating by now and are actually still alive and building and whatnot, those may actually perform better than expected because none of us are really touching the old coins these days. We're like, old, no one cares, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, but we may be wrong because of that one key component, which is that their tokenomics are way better. They have way more organic price discovery. Everyone who's had a big bag and wanted to dump has already had the opportunity to do so. So, yeah.
That's an interesting take as well. I see both sides with that. The number one thing what they say is, with the old coins, there's a lot more underwater bag holders, they say, who are waiting for that pump and then offload. So there's sell pressure coming in from old investors. I hear that point, but I like your point as well, as the old coins, not only are the tokenomics better and more circulating supply, but it's already proven to some degree, right? When you're looking at, we could even technically consider Avalanche an old coin, right? Or ecosystems like that, Matic, Polygon. But like you said, they're actively building and they're already proven. So I like both points. There's still old coins that I hold, but there's new coins that I hold as well. But the theme of this VC predatory tokenomics it's really an issue.
Yep. By the way, I people who follow us on Twitter, on X, have seen my post about shorting, and you may call me crazy for shorting near the highs after a huge pump, but here's my thing, okay? Where is it? Here's my thesis. Either we go above all-time highs, like Bitcoin needs to go to like 78K to liquidate my shorts. And yes, my shorts would be liquidated, but we would be above all-time highs. Everyone would be happy. We'd be full-blown bull market.
Yeah.
Or we reject hard and my shorts print. So I see this as a win-win situation. Because I still have my spot bags. I'm not only short, I'm not like everything in cash and only a short position. That'd be crazy. I have spot bags that I've held for a long time. And so if we break above all-time highs, then it'll be a party in this space. So that's my thesis. Shorting hard at 70K, hoping for all-time highs.
You're hedging.
I'm hedging, yes.
You're hedging. That's always a good strategy to hedge. And that way, either way the market goes, you're happy, right?
Yeah. 1 second. Oh, someone said I deleted WorldCoin video. It's still there. We didn't delete it. What is happening today is the crypto regulation law vote on Congress. It will pass. I don't think Biden will veto it since it's election year. Do you think someone wrote? Do you think that the ETF is going to be a pullback, like sell the news event, buy the rumor, sell the news, or something?
I mean, to be honest, more times than not in crypto, it is a sell the news event. Anything, any hyped up event or catalyst, you see the
Yeah.
run up. You see the run up heading towards it, or when it first gets announced and more things start coming up, and then when it actually happens, you see a pullback. However, in the fundamentals of what the ETF actually is, sure, maybe you might see a little bit of a sell the news event right when it's launched, but the inflows that are going to actually be coming in from these institutions are enough to really move the needle, right?
Yeah.
And so
Agreed.
I believe fundamentally we will have a pretty good run on ETH when the ETFs are finally in full swing and more inflows come in. So
This guy, Crypto Knight, says that I thought we weren't in a bull market. Too funny. I was kind of worried. I don't know if you saw on Twitter all the crypto Twitter folks that were calling for a macro top, like Donald. He's not the only one though. He was calling for. Dang, one sec. Macro top. Yeah, May 17th, he called for the macro top. And not only him, there were other big crypto Twitter accounts. So I was worried.
macro top, that's saying a lot. Maybe a local top is what I was predicting around there. Like we were consolidating for some time, but we haven't seen the full-fledged. We haven't seen the entirety of the bull run. I don't think we've seen even the most aggressive part of the bull run. That's just my take.
Yeah, but my point is I was worried because a lot of accounts were calling for the macro top. Okay, I can't quickly find them, but you'll have to take my word for it that a lot of them were calling for it, and that's why I was worried. So, was I bullish? No. Maybe I wasn't super bearish either, but I was worried. That's why, and I feel justified in thinking that we might have ended the bull market, even though people are going to laugh at me for it.
That's what happens when we consolidate. I feel like people start overthinking. When we start chopping for a while, it's like, oh, is this the end? Is this,
Yeah.
People get bored. Like, should I even be in crypto? Is this a scam? And people start thinking, too hard during that consolidation. But I feel like it's just part of the cycle. It's part of the process, and we're gonna have our next leg up.
Okay, I want to do a fun thought exercise with everyone who's watching right now. Where is it? I put it in. Right here. Okay.
Whatever retail has been led to believe is generally the opposite of what ends up occurring.
That is so true in history. And I want to have this open discussion with you, Josh, and with the audience watching right now. What do we believe as retail as a whole? What do we generally take to be true? And then we should potentially think that may be incorrect or that may not come true. For example, what we just talked about, right? A lot of retail thought that ETH was dead, that ETH BTC would drop, that there's no reason to own ETH anymore, just be only SOL or BTC. And that may have been the bottom of the ETH BTC ratio when everyone was thinking that. Another thing I think everyone is thinking about, crypto season flows.
Yeah, and even with the whole ETF thing, people. I don't want to be dystopian or negative at all, but with these ETFs, right? It's the same. these are being managed by a lot of the same people who are on Wall Street, who some would consider, to manipulate the markets and have, sort of shady kind of motives behind what they're doing, and them having these huge ETFs and holding large amounts of BTC and Ethereum gives them actually quite a lot of power, right? And let's say once they have, a good amount of the supply, we don't know exactly what they're going to do, and it's supposed to be this huge positive thing for crypto, but can end up, who knows, being something that's maybe not the best, because crypto as a whole is about decentralization and giving power to the people. But now you have centralized entities with a lot of power. And of course, now you have countries getting involved as well. And could that be something that's actually negative for the decentralized nature or the decentralized mission that we're after as the crypto community? So that's one thing I think could be maybe a misconception of something that could be positive that can end up being negative. Not to be too negative. That's the first one that pops into my head that I'll throw up there. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that's definitely a good point. We may end up regretting the ETFs for various reasons. But I have two other ones for you that I just thought of.
Okay.
Last cycle, our top was like what, 69K?
Yep.
Everyone thought, I would argue that 95% of retail thought that we were going to hit at least 100K. And we didn't.
Yep.
I know a few contrarian Twitter accounts, Twitter analysts were saying that we would top around 80K or so. So they were the closest, but the vast majority of retail, I'm talking about everyone watching this, and even me, thought we were going above 100K. We didn't. So we were wrong as retail, and we got to know that we are generally wrong.
Yeah.
Here's another one. Here, have you seen this before? This chart, this path to alt season, how things flow from Bitcoin to Ether to large cap to alt season.
Yep.
We thought that this was going to happen in the first half of this year. It has not. It has not happened this way. We have not flowed, like Ethereum has struggled. A lot of large cap has struggled besides and then we haven't had a full on alt season. Even though Bitcoin moved, we had phase one, but nothing really followed if you think about it. If you cross this out and say meme coin season, then you can go from Bitcoin to meme coin season. But it hasn't flowed like this, and people who are trying to chase this rotation ended up underperforming than if they just held Bitcoin or if they just did meme coins. So this was yet another thing that retail was wrong about. Now, could it play out now that the ETF is here? Maybe.
I was going to say that.
Maybe. But
I think it is going to.
Yeah.
Pardon me. I don't want to interrupt you.
No. It could. It could.
I feel like this hasn't fully actually played out. This is happening at a little bit of a different pace than we're used to. But you see, like you said, we saw that candle the other day for Ethereum. We have the Ethereum ETFs about to come out. And as my first point was that the Ethereum ETF would actually open the floodgates for large caps and then altcoin season, because all this new attention on Ethereum and potentially a pump, past 4K, so on and so forth. That, as you said, with that money flow there, I'm just looking at the chart, couldn't play out that same way. Meme coins, I just feel like are just such a huge part of the culture, and there's always going to be some sort of meme coin pump. It started back all the way back with Pepe, and then now all these other meme coins are popping off. But I believe that this flow is still fundamentally accurate to how it can play off and how it can play out, especially now that we're getting the Ethereum ETFs. I feel like once that happens, investors are going to be looking for the next plays that are underneath that, which are going to be those large caps, and then underneath that, which are those smaller altcoins. So I feel like we can still see this, but I feel like it's just been a little bit unorthodox from what we're used to as far as what starts to pump and have a season. But I feel like that's still playing out. That's just me, but
yeah,
you very well could be wrong.
I'm trying to find something right now that Dang, one sec. Give me a second. It was that. Dang, I can't find it. It was that AI memes sector. Am I gonna find it like this? Ah, right here, right here, right here. I found it. I found it, guys. I found it. I found it. Have you seen this?
I have not.
This is what I'm talking about. 2024 crypto sector performance. If you own BTC, Sol, memes, or AI, you're doing well. If you own all the other stuff, you're still experiencing a bear market. They crunched the numbers. This is year to date. BTC up 49%, Sol 46%. This is a little bit old, okay? This is early May, but it's still, the point still stands. Like, out of all the layer ones, AVAX still down, Apto's down, your favorite Cosmos, Atom down, Injective down, Mina way down, Say down. Ton is up quite a bit, pulling up the sector average, but it's like okay, I guess. Like 27% average is okay. Modular way
Oh,
down. Oh my goodness. I
that hurts.
like
That hurts to look
Dimension
at.
down 44%, Tia down 20. I'm glad I cut my Tia bags. Maybe I'll buy some more now, but
Good for you,
we'll
because
see. We'll
I would
see.
say I'm overweight in that sector when it comes to the modulars. It's just I to be honest with you, didn't have I just wasn't I didn't do enough due diligence on just how much VC exposure was in there. I'm not sure if you saw the stuff that they're able to sell their staking rewards on their vested tokens, and so when I found that stuff out, I'm like, oh,
Yeah, but here's the thing though. Here's a counterpoint to the VC coin stuff. I think that stuff doesn't matter when we're in a raging bull market.
no, you're right.
But when things start to get more picky, when liquidity starts to get more tight, then it matters. So
Yeah,
like when things are raging, who cares? Like Dimension may rocket, Tia may rocket, but it's like, yeah, it's when things start to chop or
yeah,
consolidate, that's when
yeah. I think it depends on just how much exposure these VCs have, because even in a raging bull market, those VCs the coins can still run, like you said, but it could still be stifling the growth of it, right? Because they could be selling into these pumps and kind of limiting the pump type of thing. So, yeah,
yeah,
but
I want to
I didn't mean to go on such a tangent there, but just looking at Dimension and Celestia, it just it hits a nerve for me because I had a lot of exposure there.
So I think this is covered. Actually, no. Let me change this real quick. No. Whoops. 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 How do we do this? Okay, I can't do it right now.
Manta's in the list there too. I am
But look, meme coins. I think the audience may not see this, but it's at the bottom left because we're covering them. But meme coins have been doing well. Doge is up 68%. WIF is up like almost 2,000%. Pepe up 700%. And then back up here on the upper right, ETH DeFi has been struggling. Maker done well, Pendle done well, but everything else like Frax down
Lido.
52%, blah blah blah. Lido down 36%. And this is a little bit old, okay? They pumped quite a bit in the past few days. But the point stands. Sol DeFi has done okay. Cosmos, your favorite ecosystem, this has struggled down 30% on average.
Down bad.
AI and DPIN, some AI coins are up quite a bit. Some of the DPIN ones are down. Yeah, so the point is what we're saying all along, or not what we're saying all along, but that it hasn't been a broad-based bull market like we've seen in 2021 and 2017, where it was easy. That's why I don't know if some people someone wrote that like this cycle sucks because it's like a 9 to 5 and you have constantly been paying attention, and it's not like 2017 where you can just buy anything and it all goes up, or
Like
2021.
this. Back then, you can kind of,
Exactly.
because the
You can
difference
buy
in this
anything.
one, the difference in this one versus last one, and let me tell you, next one's going to be even harder. Okay, and let me tell you why. Because there's just more and more tokens. There's more tokens, and we have more blockchains than we've ever seen. And there's all these L2s, another L1 here, another. There's all these new narratives. It's becoming a little bit more saturated. I don't want to use the word saturated, but that's the best way to describe it, right? There's new blockchains, there's new tokens, and new narratives coming out. The liquidity has to go somewhere, right? Back last cycle, there was less competition among L1s and L2s, L2s more in particular. It was kind of just AVAX, Polygon, Solana, and I guess a little bit of Cosmos here and there. But now there's a lot more broad ecosystems to pick, and you have to be a lot more tactical and strategize a lot better, and kind of have a good sense for where the trends and the narratives are flowing and where the liquidity is flowing to than before, because there's multiple narratives, let alone coins, right? And all these different coins under these narratives and all these different networks. So you have to be actually a lot more focused. There is a lot more money nowadays and a lot more liquidity than we've ever had, and potential liquidity on the sidelines that can come in. But you have to be positioned in the right places, because there's just so many options of to where to invest your money in crypto.
Yeah, and I want to show you this. I was able to find it. These bull markets are getting annoying. 2017, you just show up and buy anything and everyone is rich. Way more fun and effortless. Can someone just make indices for meme coins, RWA, AI, GameFi? I just want to throw money at stuff and win, man.
Yeah.
And then Coin Mamba.
Yeah, and that's why last live I was talking about why I liked, what was that index coin?
Index co-op, yeah.
Index cooperative. I don't think it's a perfect product, but their mission to me is that's on the money. As I just mentioned, just so many options, and then new investors coming in. It's like, where do you even start? Like, let's say you were just starting crypto for the first time today, you're interested, and you're presented with a trillion coins, and it's like, where do I even start? Where do I go? So you can just choose your favorite narrative, and it kind of just curates the best ones there. I think the first project to really get that down pat is going to go crazy. So,
yeah. I think you're right that this cycle and next cycle are going to be even harder, though, because someone wrote and made a good point that I personally buy, which is that maybe things will never happen like it did in 2021, because that was like the perfect storm of massive amounts of liquidity injection, pandemic, everyone's at home and like buying stuff on Robinhood and Dexes, right? And massive like stimulus from around the world. So that was like the perfect storm of situations. And they argue that we're never going to see something like that again, which is most likely true. I buy that. And then in 2017, things were much smaller, right? Like the market cap was not even $1 trillion. It was like 300 billion or 200 billion max, I think.
Yeah.
So there was much less liquidity needed to pump stuff back then. And now it's like way more. Actually, I want to see that real quick.
That goes hand in hand. That goes hand in hand with what we were just talking about, how now you have coins launching at $2 billion valuation on day one, right? Things are a lot more, as you said, the earlier things are, the less liquidity it takes to pump, or the less liquidity that is in an asset class, the faster and the easier that it can pump. There's more liquidity in crypto as a whole, and I feel like part of that is getting these tokens that are launching with high market caps, so on and so forth. So,
yeah, and look at this. Back in 2017, late 2017, it was only 100 to 200 billion. So much easier to pump than now.
100%.
Like just us watching the stream, us like 150 people, 125. If we just bought some random coin, it would pump. Now we really can't do that, to be honest.
Not the same way. Not in the same way. But yeah, 2021 was, like you said, the perfect storm. Everyone was at home. Everyone had, like you said, stimulus and all these different things. Plus, just DeFi 2021 was crazy. It's true. We may not ever get that again, but I hope we do, because that was some of the most fun times I've had in crypto. So,
Alan writes that institutional money has arrived. We will pump way harder than last time. Just wait. I want to make a counterpoint that I think we will selectively pump, and maybe not everything pump. Like, one of the arguments here is that BTC has held up so well, like we're near all-time highs right now, is because of the ETF inflows. But that's like staying within BTC and is not necessarily buying other stuff at the moment. So I don't know if institutional money is going to pump everything super hard. Or do you think that we are?
I think you nailed it. I think it's selective. Definitely starting with like the main plays, your Bitcoin, ETH, and then maybe going underneath to Solana and Avalanche, Polygon. But like you said, selectively, that could have a great effect on everything underneath, but not everything, as you mentioned, because it's just such a broad playing field nowadays.
Ooh, I have a really interesting thing I want to um, chat about. Oh, two things here. This guy, after 7 years, not going to go through another bull run holding XRP and making $0 while watching stupid meme coins do 100x. Sold my last 50k XRP. Thanks for nothing. I'm out. And I said I did the same with IOTA and was one of my best decisions ever. I did that in like 2020, a while ago.
Good call.
What do you think about this? Like, let's look at XRP. XRP has not been doing anything really.
It
Like,
has,
look, 1 year it's in this range, hasn't been
yeah,
doing anything. And then even Link, and I like Link a lot. I'm just
I
gonna
love
preface
Blake.
that I like Link
I
a
love
lot,
Blake.
but okay, it went up. It's been up from a year, but it hasn't been doing that much, and it's already quite a high market cap. Let's be real.
I like Link. That tweet in particular goes into this. The one saying I said earlier is just don't marry your bags. You know, don't marry your bags. That's really all I got to say about
And
that.
even ADA, which has a big cult following,
Yeah,
like only up 30% in a year. Like dang.
Cardano. I'm not interested in Cardano.
Wait, can we see ADA BTC ratio trading view? I want to see what the ADA BTC see on super charts. Can y'all see this? Yes, y'all can see this. Wow. It's near all-time lows.
Are you gonna buy the div?
No, I don't have ADA, but this is the ADA BTC ratio. Look at this. Since what is this? Since 2021, it's down only.
Yeah,
This is what they mean when they say BTC is king. Like, yes, altcoins can get you massive whatchamacallit
returns.
returns, but long term they bleed against BTC.
Yeah,
Look at this XRP BTC also near all-time lows. The
yeah. And
XRP
so I,
army got destroyed, man.
you are
Like,
right.
oh my goodness.
That's why what I do is sell into the pumps and rotate that capital just back into BTC and ETH. That's really it.
Even
Like
even ETH.
BTC is my savings account. I will when I would sell into
Yeah.
the pump and rotate into BTC.
Look, this is ETH BTC before this green candle, and it still looks dead if you think about it. Before this big green candle the past few days, it was like dropping like 3 year lows.
Yeah, it was bleeding a lot. It was bleeding a lot.
This is when we decided to make the bearish on ETH video, by the way. This candle right here, and then we got this huge pump. But it's still looking kind of dead though. I don't know. I'm not a chart analyst.
You're not a charter?
I'm not a charter, yeah.
Yeah, neither really am I. But I'm so bullish on ETH.
Let's see.
Still,
Link BTC, Chainlink BTC. Wow. What is this massive run up? 2020? And then now it's at, what is this? It's at the same level as it was in 2019, this ratio.
I'm still a big fan of Link just for the interoperability narrative. Still one of my favorite plays. And I feel like for the long term of crypto, if you believe in crypto for the long term, a really good interoperability play like Chainlink is still worth having potentially or considering to have in your bags. So I still like Link. And I still think the best is yet to come for Link. So I mean, I would take it with a grain of salt.
Now this is an interesting chart. Sol ETH. It went down only in 2023, but then now it's regained its highs essentially.
Looks like yeah, near all-time high.
Here was an interesting thesis. Look, remember this chart for Sol ETH, and then let's go back to ETH BTC. Someone said that Sol ETH could do the same as back here as ETH BTC. You see this rocket to like essentially an all-time high for ETH BTC ratio. Everyone's talking about the flippening, blah blah blah, and it's never gotten close since then. Someone was making the case that Sol ETH could follow the same chart, but in this case, Sol would be ETH and then ETH would be Bitcoin. So Sol would rocket versus ETH, mark a generational top, and then fall. But then that would make Sol like what? That would put Sol at that would put Sol at like $1,000 or so.
Yeah. I was gonna
Which
guess
would be
somewhere around 1,100, 1,200.
Wait, it's at 80 billion? That would make Sol 800 billion? My God, that's a lot, isn't it?
That is quite a lot. And
800
that's more
billion.
than that's more than Ethereum today. That's twice.
Yeah,
almost
but we're talking about like peak bull market, so
bull.
you can't really look at the
peak bull. Honestly, I can see it. Honestly, I can see it. If
800 bill
needs to be the chain of retail, the chain of the people, I can see it potentially happening. I mean,
800 bill, folks in the chat, let us know, can Sol reach 800 bill at the peak of the bull run? Write yes or no in the chat.
Tough to say now, but never forget what the power of a true bull run.
Yeah, basically all alts underperform Bitcoin long term. Swing trade alts keep profits, and okay, hell no, yes, no. Wow, it's kind of let's look at, you know what I want to look at? I want to look at Doge BTC. People said that Doge was in a range. You see this? This is 2014 to 2020. Doge was like in a range versus BTC. And then it boom, broke out. And then now it's like down a little bit more. But yeah, Doge BTC has been an interesting chart. It's not dead like the other ones. But yeah. And also BNB and BTC, Binance Coin has done well versus BTC, but arguably because of manipulation through CZ or whatnot. But BNB BTC chart is looking better than a lot of the other ones.
I like BNB.
Well, a lot of people said no.
That reminds me of the point you made. You were saying, for things that retail is wrong about, everyone was expecting Doge to $1 that time. The SNL show back in what year was that? That was like the top of Doge, I think.
Yeah. Or to answer the question, what was the question again? It was if Sol can get to 800 billion market cap at the peak of the bull. A lot of people were saying no,
I think
even though some people said yes.
I think we can get there one day. This cycle, that would be huge.
Doge Tether right here.
My price target for Sol is around 700 by peak bull. So, I mean, it very well could continue on depending on how aggressive the bull run is. So
Doge got to 75 cents,
yeah,
plus or minus, at the SNL skit that Elon did.
Mm-hmm.
That is, see, everyone always talks about top indicators, but it's always in hindsight that it makes sense. They're like, that marked the top almost to the day. But yeah, it's so clear in hindsight, but when we're living it, it's hard to do. It's hard to
do in the moment, especially with everything going on, the excitement, the euphoria. Because if you were in Doge from early, that run up from, fractions of a penny to 75 cents was crazy. And then you have the SNL and Elon Musk himself pushing the coin and everything. You truly believe it's going to $1. That's why they say, don't drink the Kool-Aid, as they say, right? Or
I drink the Kool-Aid every time, man.
Yeah, and I was definitely someone who was drinking the Kool-Aid. I remember I was watching that SNL skit live. I'm like, oh, here it is. Like I'm gonna pass $1. I have my bags ready, and that was the beginning of the end for that cycle for Doge, and it was painful. It was painful.
Okay, two things I want to talk about. One is meme coins. Remind me about that in a bit. But the second thing was, top indicators. It's another top indicator is that, or two indicators. One is when I feel like shorting, that's most likely marks the regional bottom. Like every time I'm like, dang, I feel like shorting. I feel like I need a hedge. That's when like the bottom is in, the local bottom at least. And then the other thing is, remember a month ago, was it a month ago or like 2 months ago when the meme coin season was like in full swing? And in my other trading groups, people were coming out of hibernation to trade meme coins. And people were making fun of them. They're like, when let's say his name is like Bob, like when Bob is here to trade meme coins, that's when you know the top is in. Because like Bob was in hibernation, not really
Yeah.
trading meme coins, and he's not the type to trade meme coins.
Right.
And they said that in jest, but it turned out to be true. Like 2 weeks later, meme coins fell like 40, 50%. So it's like, dang, it's like, that's when you know, like that's screaming top indicators when people are rushing in to buy meme coins that you don't really see them like doing it usually.
Yes. And here's actually another one. I have another top indicator that I like to look at. Can't
Okay,
remember
what is
exactly.
it?
Can't remember exactly which creator I saw reference this. I'm just going to pull out my phone. Is if you go onto the App Store on your iPhone or even on Google Play.
Oh, App Store, Coinbase app.
Exactly. Coinbase app and see where it is ranked on the top 100. And in the bear market heading into the bull market, see right now, actually, that's crazy. It's at number 20 right now, maybe just for finance. But overall, see where Coinbase is sitting. When it hits number one, apparently it's always gone to number one, at least for a day or for a little bit through every bull market. We're at the top. And I've watched it climb from the 300s to, the hundreds, and then it's in the top 100, then top 50. It's like, okay, we're getting closer and closer to the top because more and more retail are rushing in. And I remember when I was just like a noob in crypto, you see these headlines, Bitcoin is at 15K, or Ethereum just broke out this, or this coin went on whatever crazy run. You see those headlines, retail will be like, okay, I want to get in. I want to get a piece of the pie. And a lot of the times that marks the top, and the real OGs are selling when retail gets there, and so on and so forth. So when I see Coinbase towards the top of the App Store, that's one indicator I like to take a look at as well, because a lot of retail is just like the app. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure number one in the US at least for
Yeah,
retail.
that was what it was before. Yeah.
Yeah, for UX, UI. That marks. That's one of the things I like to look at. A few different things.
I'm trying to find another one.
Celebrity coins, celebrities getting involved, and all these non-crypto people. You see Kim Kardashian, she was pushing Ethereum Max at the top of last cycle, right? So when you see Kim Kardashian coming in to talk about some altcoin, it's another decent indicator, and a few different things like that.
Someone was making the argument that the meme coin top is in, and that the meme coin top was in, and that meme coins are this cycle's NFTs. That really resonated with me, because if you look at NFTs, they've been struggling, like across the board. They've been struggling this entire cycle so far. So a lot of them went into meme coins instead, and people are now calling the meme coin top to be in, and saying that they're going to go the way of NFTs in terms of maybe some will survive some of the biggest ones, but with hundreds or thousands coming up every day on Solana and whatnot, it's really like, it's just too dilutive, and there's just no like staying power anymore. What do you think about that thesis that the meme coin top is in and it's going to trend like NFTs from henceforth?
It's an interesting take. I haven't seen that before. Sad what's going on with NFTs. I don't think they're gone forever, but I can definitely see that same sort of, NFT creators are now onto the meme coin game for that just community driven initiative. That makes sense. However, I don't think the top is in, because I don't think the top of the bull run's in. I feel like as long as the bull run's going, meme coins are going to have a run. This is just going to kind of maybe shift around. Even meme coins on base popping off. It's not just only on Solana. I don't think the top is in for meme coins. I think meme coins are kind of just always going to some degree be around, but as long as a bull run is going, I feel like memes will always have life. That's just my take, because it's very community driven. It's very and as long as there's liquidity flowing, community will be there and they'll pump memes. I feel like that's just part of the bull run.
They have historically gone in cycles, though. Like, even in past cycles, meme coins had a huge, like, month or two, and then they'd kind of cool off while other stuff ran. So it wasn't like meme coins were consistently pumping the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, especially if we're talking about blue chip memes. I mean, we just talked about what happened to Doge, and with and Bonk, and so on and so forth. Like, those are, I guess, the blue chip memes and the Pepe for this cycle. But just memes as a whole, as just in general, still draw a lot of liquidity, like smaller ones that will just pop off and so on and so forth. I think we're still going to see that, but we could be seeing a top for, like you said, those blue chip memes, right, with a lot more liquidity in it. Like, I think WIF is what, 2 billion, 3 billion market cap.
Yeah, around 2 bill, I think.
Yeah, so I mean, it's natural for, after a coin pumps like that, or just a ecosystem or narrative pumps like that, for there to be a correction of sorts. But I personally don't think the meme season is over.
Okay. Shaf is asking, how will L2 coins perform in the hype of the ETH ETF? Well, just looking at this chart, ETH beta has been doing quite well in the past couple of days. ARB, Optimism, Lido, Pendle. I don't know what the other one is.
EtherFi.
EtherFi, yeah. They've been all going up quite a bit, even though they've been struggling the past couple of months. But it looks like people want ETH beta, which means like a way to get exposure to ETH indirectly, but even more risky, more high risk, high reward.
Yeah. I like the ZK narrative hasn't really been a thing yet. I feel like that's something that could eventually have its run eventually. I think ETH beta will definitely draw a lot more attention, as as Mr. OX JPEG is saying. Like a rising, as they say, a rising tide lifts all ships. And the rising tide of Ethereum, to me, is almost even more explosive than the one for the Bitcoin ETF, because Ethereum is, the original L1 where coins are made underneath, right? And everything like that. So it starts with Ethereum, and I do think it'll continue on to the ecosystem underneath. So I think L2s will have a nice season, especially once the ETF is in full swing.
Makes sense. All right, we're at the top of the hour. This has been so much fun. We've talked about a lot of interesting theses.
Indeed.
Looked at how coins are performing. So thank you all for watching. Please do give this a like and join us in the future. You'll see Josh a lot more. Catch his shorts, catch his streams, and yeah, catch y'all next time.
Yeah, until next time, be sure you subscribe. Cheers.